Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well and having a good day. Today I thought it would be fun to show you how to make a really easy 2-ingredient fudge recipe, which you can easily make it where it's sugar-free or not sugar-free, and you can totally customize different things that you can add in and mix with it. But today we're just going to do the 2 main ingredients, and it takes hardly any time to make, and it only takes about a half an hour or overnight to freeze in your freezer. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so what you will need to make this super easy 2-ingredient chocolate fudge is a glass measuring cup or some type of measuring cup that you can put in your microwave. And then I am going to be using these semi-sweet mini chocolate chips, and depending on how much is in this, I'm also going to use the Simple Truth organic ones too. And then our second ingredient is going to be almond butter, but you can use any nut butter you want for this recipe. And I'm going to lift you up. I have tried this recipe using just plain almond butter that is strictly almonds, no sugar, no salt added, and it tastes just as good with the totally raw almond butter. So your first step to make the fudge is going to be, I'm going to push you down so you can see, is adding your chocolate chips in. And you just need 1 cup of the chocolate chips. So let's see if we can get 1 cup out of these. We had a runaway. Okay, let's see. That's less than 1 cup, so we're gonna add some more with these other ones. And let's get this to 1 cup. Okay, so we now have our 1 cup of our chocolate chips, and then we just need half a cup of the almond butter. So I'm gonna scoot this out of the way. I have a half cup measuring spoon, and so I'm gonna get a regular spoon, and we're just gonna scoop it into that and then put it in there. And I like how quick this is. And I also love the fact that you can make this a sugar-free option as well, which I have tried with my grandmother. That's when we used, or when I used the raw almond butter, and her chocolate was sugar-free aside from the fact that it was basically sweetened with stevia, which is a natural sweetener. So this is almost half a cup. I think 1 more spoonful will do it. So here is, give or take, about pretty much, I mean, that's pretty much half a cup of your the nut butter, which in this almond butter jar, that's about 1/3 of the almond butter jar. So now that we have this measured out, we're just going to take this and add it in here, and then we are going to pop it in the microwave and microwave it in about 30-second increments, depending on how strong your microwave is. So then we're gonna pop this in here. Now let's go pop this lovely looking thing in the microwave. Close the door. Now, while it's in the microwave for the 30 seconds, you can start cleaning up your area, which is also nicely as it's easy cleanup. And I would save the spoon that you already measured out the nut butter with, and you can use that to stir it. So let me grab this real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, we are back now after microwaving it round 1, and you can see it's already kind of starting to melt. And so you're just going to take your spoon that you measured out the nut butter with, and you're just going to mix it. And you'll keep doing this until it's well combined together. And then once that happens, it'll bring us to our next step. So this is what it looks like now after its second go in the microwave. And you can see that everything's kind of mixing in pretty well with the other now. And so we're going to give this a good stir. And then we're going to kind of look and see if there's any chocolate chip chunks. And from what I can see, it doesn't look like we have too many, or any at all, really. So that brings us to our third and final step before we can eat it. So we are now, depending on the size or amount that you have made, you have a couple options that you can do to decide where you want to place it for this last step. So the last step to make it fudge is putting it in a container and then popping it into the freezer for about, 30 minutes to over an hour or overnight. And so I have 2 containers. There's this container. You can put it in a regular, just like pan like this, depending on what the size of your amount is. Or what I like to do is I like to pop it in this, and this makes it really easy to just pop them each individually out, and they're the perfect size for a serving. So about, I would say 1 to 3 of these is a pretty good serving size, and it's definitely enough sweetness to be satisfying. Even when my grandmother and I did like the sugar-free version with just raw almond butter, which was strictly made from almonds, and then the chocolate we used was sugar-free, which when I say that, it means it didn't have any cane sugar or any that type of sweetener. So it was pretty good, and that's especially great for anyone who is trying to cut back on their sugar intake or can't process the white sugars or anything. So what I like, it's just a very good little alternative for a sweet treat. And you can eat it knowing that you're getting protein from the nut butter and it's low in sugar, and so it's great. We have put sea salt with it, and that tasted really good. The first time I made them, I put caramel with it, and it was really good, but it was messy. So I would probably, I don't know, you can determine yourself if you try it, if you want to do that. But you can customize any additives if you want to add something. So almonds, like chopped almonds and shredded coconut, go really well with this fudge. Or you can, if you have kids, if you just want to change it up for your kids, you can add a ground almond or nut of some sort and mix it in with your fudge. And it could be like a Captain Crunch bar type thing for them. And you can know that it's beneficial for them. So what I'm going to do next is we're going to put this into our cute little mold. And so I'm going to switch the angle so you can see how I do that. Now, because I'm using a measuring cup that has a spout on it, it's really easy to kind of just pour it in. But if you don't have one of these, it's really easy to use a spoon as well and just scoop it in. So I'm just going to start pouring them into the mold. Now, even if you're not using a spoon to scoop it in, the spoon really helps to when you're trying to move your pouring spot from one to the next. Okay, now that we have it all measured out, I can't promise you that it won't be, you know, a little messy. But what I also like to do, because they're kind of lumpy on the top after you pour them in, I like to just take this and just tap it on the counter a little bit. And that helps to make it nice and flat. And then what you do is you take these and you just pop them in the freezer. So let's go ahead and go do that. Here they are in the freezer. It's best if you can have them flat because they can then make flat. But I am going to let them sit and freeze. And once they're done in the freezer, we will come back and see what they look like. Okay, so I just went and checked on our little fudges in the freezer, and they had been in there for a little more than 30 minutes, probably about 35 or 36 minutes. And you can see that they're hardened, and when I squeeze the side, it's completely hardened now. So if I wanted to, I could pop one out and show you. So let me put you in my little tripod and I'll show you what they look like. All right, we are set up in our little tripod. So now I can show you. I'm gonna try and get this one out. So I'm just gonna push on the bottom of the little thing, and you might have to work the sides a little bit while you're breaking it off, or trying to get it out, I should say. But once it comes out, it's this cute little thing. And it tastes really good. It's healthier for you. And it's got protein in it from the nut butter. And they're great. You can keep them in your freezer still. Or you can also, once they've hardened and finished, you can even transport them out of their container, the molding that you used, and you can pop them in the refrigerator. And they will probably keep for I want to estimate a week in your refrigerator or a week on your counter. I wouldn't recommend keeping them out on your counter. I would recommend keeping them either in your freezer or in your refrigerator. They will last longer in your freezer. But I can tell you, once you try them, they won't last that long in your freezer because they are that good. And again, I recommend even trying the sugar-free option because it tastes just as good, if not a little better, than the sugar added ones. But I hope you give this a try. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching my video. I hope you have an awesome day and week or weekend, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye. Be sure to also like this video, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and be sure to comment down below if you give this a try or if you've made something similar. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye, guys.